Yo, what's up, YouTube? How's it going?
What's up?
All right, this is our second podcast between me and him,
What's good?
and we talk about a lot of stuff. Okay, so it's like 45 minutes. So what I want you to do is, if you're at work or you're doing stuff around the house, just kind of like put it on, let it play. You know what I mean? And it'll be over before you know it. Trust me, it's really good. You don't want to miss it. We cover everything from kids being 18, thinking they're losers because they still live in the house with their mama and daddies, to George Floyd, the politics, the politics, and all that other good stuff, you know what I mean? And we talk about the Yee Tribe, some grandpa, grandma stories. You know, y'all love it, I promise you.
Budgeting.
Budgeting money. We don't give everything away. But it's really fun. I'm really happy that me and him get to do this. So sit back, enjoy the podcast, get some snacks, chocolate, popcorn,
Disgusting.
Taco Bell, McDonald's, whatever you got. You know, what I mean, if you're in the car, put this on, just cruise to it a little bit. You know, thank y'all for loving us and our family, and thank you for sticking with us. And we love you. And as further ado, here we go. All right, welcome to our second kind of podcast thing, and we're sitting here talking about my son's here with me.
What's up?
Everybody should go ahead.
What's up?
If this is on YouTube, click the like button and share us out to help the cast or the stream or whatever you want to call it. You know, we were sitting here. He thinks that I'd say a lot of people in the U.S., especially parents, you know, they put a lot of pressure on their kids because
They don't work.
no they put a lot of pressure on their kids because, and society does too, to the point where if they turn 18 they move out, right? And that's the normal thing. You turn 18, you move out. And but at the same time, he has a stigma to where if he doesn't move out at a certain age, he thinks he's gonna be a loser.
Yeah,
And
pretty much.
I don't believe that he'll be a loser, because if he's at home taking care of two disabled parents, which me and his mom are disabled, if he's at home taking care of two disabled parents, then I don't really see the need to even worry about being a loser, because he's doing what most people never do, and that's take care of their elders. And that's a pretty noble thing in my book. I take care of my grandma, so did my wife. You know, I took care of my grandma basically almost till she died. My mom took care of her, you know, towards the end, but me and my wife, we took care of her like
Day in and
a
day out.
lot. Yeah. I couldn't say too much about a whole lot of what went on, but we took care of her, you know. We took care of her until we couldn't do it no more. She needed extra help that we couldn't do, and my mom took over. But it's like I lived with my grandma since I was like 16. 16 to like 20 something, you know.
Yeah.
I lived with my grandma, and I I could have moved out anytime I wanted to, but she didn't want me to. You know.
Why?
She didn't want me to because she said that she liked the company and she liked the help.
That means you're doing your job,
You
right?
know, and so I was okay. And so years, but I had jobs. You know, I went out and got me jobs and done stuff. Even though I didn't really have to get a job, I didn't have to get a job if I didn't want to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I helped pay bills. I helped do what I had to do, whether people want to realize it or not. It's what I've done. You know, and it's like, but to sit there and say that I'm a loser if I still live with my mom and dad at 18, I think that that's too much of a stigma that Americans put on their kids, in my opinion. Not all Americans, but most of them, you know. And it's rap music, and it's popular media, it's popular YouTube videos, it's popular in music, You know, and it's like, I don't think a kid be 18 and have your problems as a loser.
Why would you say that it's not?
Might as well not.
What?
What?
Well, you spoke way too fast. Sorry. But like, I don't know. Like, it's always like pondered me. You know, like when I move out, what if I die alone? You know, like what if I don't have anybody to like fucking hold me or like care for me? You know, like in the next. You know, that's why. That's why like I'm glad that I have my girlfriend. You know, because she's
Well, see,
got me.
you're not gonna be alone.
I know, but like she's gotten me through a lot. But anything can change, you know, because there's just random shit can happen. The most, cause like I can tell you one thing, the most randomest stuff has happened in my life to where it makes everything complicated. I know for a while I purposely made my life complicated because that's what I was used to. At one point, I was used to, you know, being an ass and being a wannabe gangster, and so like I basically forced my life to be hell, you know, and I don't want to go back to that, you know. But like it all, I act on what my environment used to be, you know, because I came from a really bad environment. So did a lot of other people, you know, like. I don't
And
like
so you're
to.
basically a product of your environment. What
Yeah,
you're
but
trying to say.
like, if I come from a house where it's always screaming and fighting over money, I'm just gonna think, oh, that must be how adults roll. You know, like you gotta argue over money and stuff. You know, and like I don't want arguing. You know, I just want peace. You know, and I feel like with a lot of the stuff, I can't get a lot of jobs because of things I can't talk about. You know, but like I don't, I can't, I'm not available for a lot of jobs. You know, and like I try my best to like find somewhere, you know, to work. I try my best to be the best person I can be and stand out from the rest, you know. Like stand out from the crowd and say, "Hey, I made it." You know? And like
I
it
think you'll
always
do
drags me
fine.
down because you always got that one person, you know, that's going to bring you down. But I'm just glad that I have people that have my back. And that's why I'm glad I have you, I have my girlfriend, I have my mom, you know. And like it's just worrying me because like in 2 years I'm gonna be 18 and I don't have a fucking plan. I don't have a clue of what I'm doing. You know, I don't. Cause if you want me to be honest with you, I can tell you on a good day I can tell you hell yeah I got a plan. But deep down inside I ain't got shit. You know, I don't have anything.
Well, when it comes down to it, even the smartest man alive has no plan.
You're right.
You know why?
Why?
Because we're gonna die.
Yeah, we're not getting out of this
Regardless,
alive.
regardless, Thomas. I'm not being mean, but
No, I know.
I believe at the point of life, regardless of where you live, who you're with, if you're alone or not, is to enjoy yourself, laugh, and be comfortable with your own shit. Be comfortable in your own skin. Be comfortable that you're Thomas and I'm Dad.
Yeah.
You gotta be comfortable that you're Thomas. That's who you are. That's who you were born to be. Is yourself. And it's like a lot of these kids and even grown-ups get brainwashed by music. And I'm not just gonna post say rap because it's all music, country music, rock music, metal music, rap music, all the shit. It really is. It really is when you break it all down. And it's fucking religion, it's politics. You know what I mean? It's like from the time that I feel like the only time you got any kind of peace is when you was in the womb. Because as soon as you come out to this world,
Hell breaks
you
loose.
know, what's the first thing that happens? 9 times out of 10, they spank your ass to get you to wake up
Yeah.
or breathe,
Yeah.
and then they poke and prod on you, and they leave you alone for a while. And they poke and prod on you, somebody scrub all the afterbirth off of you, and then you get a little older, with mom and dad. They have issues, and that's stress on the baby. You know what I mean? And then it's like if they have, then once you get older and you start going to school around all other people, and especially if like you're in a religious home, oh my God, you know what I mean? It's like you just as soon as you get to where you can walk, dude, you're under restrictions. Can't do this. Can't do that. Can't say this. Can't think this way. Can't think that way. Don't like this group of people. You can hang over here and hang out with column A. Maybe some of column B, but leave C, D, E, F, G alone. You know, and
Yeah.
that's and as long as I think as long as somebody's not a bad person, like criminal wise or real like shifty, and you know they're gonna like do something bad to you, whether it's not physical, but steal from you, mentally torture you,
Yeah.
use you. You know what I mean? And it's like from birth, it's like we're fucking thrust into this shit.
Well, we have no option to say if we want to be here or not. We're just kind of just placed
Like
here,
I
but
said, it's random.
yeah, and we don't know our origin. That we're the only animal that scientists haven't discovered our origin to, and that's pretty freaky because our DNA is traced throughout everything because they found DNA, human DNA in birds,
You think
human
people a
DNA
long
in
time?
dinosaurs.
You think people a long time ago lived in caves or something? I don't get my own cave.
No, but I feel like people had
I
to do
don't
it
care
they had to
about you,
do.
Dad. Get my own cave. My own big rocks.
No, dude, no, I don't feel that way. I feel like cavemen, the reason why the human race has stuck together so, like, that has survived so long is because we have stuck together. We have stuck together, and, like, then there was always, in a tribe, there's leaders, right? And I feel like each government, each country has its own tribe. And the government, the head, the president, the king, the queen, of that per se country is the leader, and people's first instinct is to look to the higher power. Okay, and so some people follow the higher power, and then some people that go on instinct don't follow it. And honestly, I don't give a shit about politics. That's not what worries me, because as long as I don't have to wake up every morning and look at the news to make myself feel better, you know.
Yeah.
Like I don't have to like sit there and like watch the news and current events just to stress myself out,
Well, that's all.
because
That's all they feed you is stress.
I know, but like
Those are the
literally,
same
because
people that
one minute,
make
one
make
minute,
you feel bad that you're not like little Timmy down the street
all right,
with the
cut the phone.
perfect stuff. Like they make a lot of the media on down the music and politics, everything else. It's like they try to have a set life plan, and they try to set your life plan. You know, they try to set your life plan,
Yeah.
and that's not right. Yeah.
Well, I feel like no offense to the people that actually like watch the news and stuff because that's helpful and stuff. I just don't pay attention to it anymore because like every other news topic is like death or viruses and other bullshit. But like I just feel like
They all
if
say the same thing.
yeah,
They do. If you really pay attention, every news source says the same thing. They brainwash everybody, and they go, "This is a Republican channel. This is a Democrat channel."
they're all the
And then
same.
but see, the
Bro.
Democrats and the Republicans are all paid by that one person. They're paid by another person that pays two different parties to go out here and divide this country up to where nobody has a chance for anything. They just want to fight and argue, But you're not. And then on top of that, you tell me Dad, like I'm gonna be a loser if I live
Yeah,
here
I feel
18.
like that.
No, you
I feel
shouldn't feel
like
like
that.
that.
And like
You're too
the
young to feel like you shouldn't be feeling like that. You should be happy that you got a mom and dad that don't give a fuck,
yeah.
that want to be around you, that love you, that try to guide you
Yeah,
the
I
best
didn't
we
have
can.
that for 8 years, and so kind of coming back into that, even though it's been 2 years since I came to Oregon and met you guys for the first time, it's still hard for me to adjust from 8 years of complete bullshit and torture.
Uh,
You know, the people. I feel like people that have been through hard times. Like I feel for you. And like I know that like I've been in a lot of situations where someone will express themselves to me, and then like they'll be like, oh, you don't understand because you're this color, or you don't understand because you don't have that, or you didn't go through the same thing. But like at the end of the day, our like we at the end of the day, we still like even though we see everybody sees different, right? But we all bleed the same, you know.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
see,
yeah,
nowadays you get
like,
called racist for that.
but like, if you look,
How
if
you
you
feel about
cut,
that?
if I don't care, dude. Call me a racist. Call me what you want. I've been called worse names. I've been through worse, and I'm not saying that you guys haven't been through worse. I'm just saying that I've been through my own personal hell, and you guys have been through yours too. And I'm sorry for that. But like, we all bleed the same, and we should all get together, and like be one. Be like, like, do you guys not understand if all the gangs got together, if we got together, and we worked as a team instead of fighting one another, we could do so much more, and we could basically be our own government. But like,
Well, did you know that every state has its own government?
I know that's what the
Why?
mayors are for, right?
No, it's what the governors are for.
Oh. Well, what
Every
happened to
every
mayors?
state, a mayor is like for a city.
Oh.
He's like
Okay.
you
No,
got
there's chiefs
mayors and you
too.
have governors and you have president.
Officials. No, then you got
No,
governors
I'm
and
no no
officials.
no no no.
No,
I'm just saying that. I'm tired.
that's alright.
But you got like national, which blankets the whole country. You got national government, which is the White House and the president. Okay, and then you have every state that has its own government,
Hmm.
has its own rules, has its own, you know what I mean? Like, has everything, has its own rules, its own state of mind, its own language half the time, its own accent, its own places, its own marks, its own, like its own history.
Yeah.
And, but see, people forget that we are country, right?
Yeah.
The whole country in the United States of
Yeah.
America, United States of America. Now let's break that down. We are the United States.
Which
Okay,
means that we're supposed to all be together.
which means that all that means is that okay. So you know how whenever you talk about the Middle East or anywhere else like
Yeah.
that, or like even Canada or Mexico, you're like, oh well, that's part of that country, or that country is like it's like a bunch of countries all put together. So
Yeah.
it's the same fucking way here.
Yeah.
We're a whole like this whole country is just a bunch of different countries split up. Okay,
Bro.
it's
So
a,
basically a
it's
fucking monopoly.
no, it's not a
No?
monopoly. It's a bunch of countries. It's like 52 countries
Yeah. But we call them
united.
states.
Yeah, and 52 countries united under one flag.
Yeah.
Okay,
But that seems to not work out too well
and
lately.
and all these people are out there breaking stuff, running around, burning stuff, killing one another. You're white, you're racist, but we're supposed to be a united state. Okay, and it's like it's so simple. It's so simple. It really is.
I feel like the riots though are like a distraction. I feel like the riots about Black Lives Matter, the riots about other things, the looting. I feel like that's all a fat distraction just to turn our eyes away from what's going on in the White House, what's going on with government officials, what's going on right now. You know, I just feel like the fucking riots and shit are like just wild, like basically a big ass smoke screen, and we can't see past that smoke screen because it terrifies the shit out of a lot of people. And I feel like if people would act responsible and mature about things, you know, and if everybody was mature, everybody was responsible, and we just got all together, and instead of breaking shit and causing a ruckus, we go out there as a team, and we don't go and break shit. We don't go and like steal stuff and loot from other people and force people like out of their businesses and beat them up. Even if they chase you with a samurai sword out of the fucking store. Yeah, I saw that video.
Yeah, it was
You know?
horrible. Dude.
Yeah.
Didn't they beat that one man to death in Texas?
And then,
Oh, and
and
then
then I
you
saw,
want
and
to
then
talk
I
about current
saw,
events?
well, and
You
then
want
I
to talk
saw,
about
and
hold
I
on? You want
saw
to
this
talk about
one
current
guy
events?
post
Look.
a, hold on, wait. I saw this one
Okay.
guy post a video. He worked at a nursing home and he beat up like a
Yeah, I don't want
helpless.
to talk about that's horrible.
He beat up a white old lady, and I feel like that was stupid.
No, that's a coward move.
That was stupid.
Coward.
You know?
He's a
I mean,
coward
yeah,
for hitting that
but
old lady.
still stupid.
The lady couldn't defend herself, but I bet you if it was me or somebody that was big like me and didn't care and wanted like to fight, he wouldn't have hit him. You know. But let's talk about current events, though.
All right.
What about that lady?
Next topic.
No, I'm just
No,
talking
no,
about your
no.
topic.
Yeah.
Like,
Did I plug my phone?
what
Yeah,
about what about that
Yeah.
lady from Africa that's in Texas right now that cured those people with COVID-19 out in Africa?
The government
and
covered
and,
that up.
and they shut her ass down, son.
I know.
They was like, oh no, can't have that. No,
Because
we don't want them having no hope. They gonna believe in us and believe what we have to say, and no outside. And that's BS. Like I could tell you why. And that's not political either. I'm not trying to be political. I'm just saying that's the truth.
I swear to God, if we should. I swear to God, if I see this dude's Twitter like getting blasted over some fucking English dude's YouTube again, and he makes another stupid comment, I swear to God,
Yeah, he
I'm
hasn't said
literally-
anything since then.
I know, but if he watches our videos still, I'm just saying, why you make a stupid comment when you need to be worrying about your own country right now? You know, like you need to be worrying about your own current events instead of worrying about what's going on in America, because we can handle ourselves, and you can go stick to yourself too. You know, like
Because people,
Are
Republicans and Democrats, both like agitators because it keeps it going. You know, it keeps it going, and
did you know that if everybody just suddenly left office and that government official had just left, the president quit, everything, America would panic and go into chaos?
No, I think some would go into chaos. The ones that are going into chaos, the people that are going into chaos right now
Would be the sheep.
those people would do that. But people like us, and there's more people less like us, it'll be fun.
Right, life would go on regardless if the government was in power or not, in my opinion. I feel like the government uses their power in bad ways, you know.
So not all the time, but a lot of times.
Well, like every time I see the news, you know, it's always something bad. You never see good stuff on the news anymore. I remember when I was little, you know, I would go, like my grandpa would put on the news, right? And like every morning there'd be like the weather report, and then like they'd do like someone's birthday or whatever.
Yeah.
Cause like back in the day, you used to call the radio station and like you could tell them that it was your son or like daughter's birthday or whatever, and it'd say it. And then, like, I don't know, they go on the sports or whatever, you know? And nowadays it's all about, oh, 4 more people dead. Oh.
Black guy got killed by white officer.
You know, like,
What about the black on black crime? Nobody ever reports that.
I know. But wait. I'm not saying what happened to George Floyd was wrong, you know?
Right.
It was, you know, it was, you know? I watched the video. I watched it, and I watched it over and over again. I've been watching it this whole goddamn quarantine, analyzing the whole video. And I can tell you one thing. George Floyd didn't do anything wrong. But as my dad was explaining to me.
Yeah, but George Floyd wasn't no American hero either. He was on drugs. He tried to pass off fake money. He held a pregnant.
Kill the man, though.
He held a pregnant lady at gunpoint with a gun to her stomach.
Oh, that's fucked up, man. Supposedly he's a porn star too.
Now, was it right for the cop to kneel on his neck the whole time?
No.
No, they should have picked him up and put him in a car. But I knew when I saw that
something about to happen.
That was a scapegoat for all this stuff because nobody cared about George Floyd. They only cared about pushing their own agenda. And Black Lives Matter.
You believe Agenda 21 is a real thing?
We all, you know.
I just see it on the news sometimes.
Anything's possible.
Yeah. I just see it on the news sometimes. I just question it.
But see, George Floyd, Black Lives Matter is still backed by Democratic liberals. Okay, all the money that goes to them don't go towards Black Lives Matter.
It goes
straight to the government.
And it's been proven.
And nobody believes me, but it's for real. Okay, and then, people get mad because they don't like facts anymore. Because everybody got a trophy when they were little, instead of like
Oh, I didn't.
somebody had to lose like we did. You know, like
I
it's like,
didn't.
oh no, you came
taught
in
me how to
second in
live.
the race. Too bad, motherfucker. Try again. You know what I
That's
mean?
exactly what you would do to me.
And that's how I was raised. That's how you was raised. Because when you win, you win. But whenever you lose, you also have to be humble about it and be like,
Yeah.
oh, well, it's cool, bro. I lost. That's fine.
You don't fucking flip out and make a big scene just to get what you want. I learned
Oh,
that
I
real
used to break
fast.
up. I used to break up fights in my house over fucking Madden and Fight Night back in the day because I'd have tournaments
Yeah.
and there'd be a prize or there was money or I'd buy them food or whatever it was. And it's like I would have to break up fights, and
Real.
I stopped doing it after a little while because like nobody could just be graceful losers.
Yeah.
They had first, second, and third place. Nobody wanted to be second and third, and I understand that. I'm competitive too, and it's like, but if you don't make the first, like number one,
You can always
you
shoot for
have to,
second or third.
and and you have to be humble about it. You got to be a good winner, and you also have to be a good loser.
Mm-hmm.
Like I remember one year, one time when I was growing up, we had Madden tournaments every Thanksgiving. And
I've
every
heard the story.
Thanksgiving, I get my ass handed to me every Thanksgiving. So one year, I decided, when I was working, or I don't know, I think it was when I was working, or I got it for Christmas or something, I don't know, but I got the brand new Madden for that year. That's what I asked for. I want the brand new Madden. And they all laughed at me, you know. And I had the Saints, and even though they're a shit team, I love them. And I got really, 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 really good with them to where I was playing like I was playing the season on the highest difficulty. And I was good, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I got so used to playing on like Ultra Pro, I'm a badass mode. Come Thanksgiving time, I didn't say nothing to nobody because nobody knew I was practicing.
Well,
You know,
how'd you get the game? They bought it for you?
Momo got it for
That's
me.
where they messed up. That's where they messed up.
Momo got it for me.
That's where they messed up.
So it's like Momo got it for me. So it's like I went in there, dude, and they were like, "Oh, did you play Madden this year?" And I was like, "Oh no, I did a little bit, I'm not very good. Well, I'll whip everybody's ass,
Oh,
and nobody talked to me
that's crazy.
because I won something for once. I thought it was pretty funny.
You thought it was cool too, or just sad?
I thought it was funny. I just thought it was funny that nobody all of a sudden I was the one they didn't want to talk to because I shut everybody up. I was proud of myself.
Yeah, that's
And sometimes
crazy.
you got to do that. Sometimes you have to shut people up, but in a good way. You can't not physically. But
I feel like if kids grew up were like, back in the day when I was living with me and my brothers, we were all underneath the same
hold on,
roof.
come here. We're on a podcast right now.
When we were
Hold on. Let's ask your mom. How do you feel about? You think if a kid's with their parents and they turn 18, are they a loser?
No, because it doesn't make them a loser. It makes them who they are. If they still want to be with their parents, that's where they want to be.
No, but I don't want to be with my parents, but I ain't got no option. You know.
What if we get a big enough house one day to where you have a place that's kind of like offset from our place or something?
You talking about like one of those houses where like it's got an upstairs? Oh my god.
No, one of those houses that's got like either a basement with a well, I'm taking over the basement, so you can't have that. I'm gonna be the motherfucker dwelling in the basement, goddammit.
You just hear some trudges
He's
downstairs.
Dad, what are you doing? Don't come down here. No, but like, what if we got a house, right? That either had land or something we could get you little manufactured homes, little tiny homes, or we can get you if you didn't want to leave, we can get you like find a house that has a little guest house.
Where are you getting the money for that?
Hey, I got there's ways. I'm pretty sure because I ain't got no shame. I'm on Section 8. Section 8 has a program for people to own their own houses.
Nice.
And Oregon makes it to where every landlord has to work with you no matter what because it's the law here. And we can more than likely work something out one of these days, But it's like, regardless, dude, even if you like living in the house in your own room, And you can come and go as you please eventually because you'll be old enough to with a key and all that good stuff, you know. And if you
Good
got a
luck getting
job,
that from
but you,
her.
you know, if you have a job, that's fine. You know, if you're on Social Security, that's fine. It's money, but you know, your girlfriend, I'm pretty sure, if y'all still together, want to go places, do, and you know, and if she wants to help move out with you, that's fine. If y'all want to live on your own, that's fine. But you always have a place here. All three of y'all have a place here.
I don't think you're gonna see the other two.
Yeah, well, we'll find out. I just know that I got the Section 8 because one day I'm gonna die. Okay, and I got it. I got it for y'all. You know, I got the Section 8 for you guys. Just in case something happens to me, you'll never be homeless. You'll always have a deal somewhere. You know what I mean? Here in Oregon. And
Yeah,
that's probably dumb, you know, but I mean, I don't have no money.
I know. But I was gonna say it's like I feel like if more kids grew up the way I grew up, I
I
feel
grew up
like
hard too, son. You gotta remember that.
I
Like, it was
know,
different times too. This was the 80s.
I know. But like I
It was
feel.
bad, dude.
But I was gonna say if people grew
They
up,
wouldn't know no such thing as child safety.
yeah,
They wouldn't know such thing as safe spaces.
safe
The
spaces.
belt existed.
Yeah,
Okay,
well the belt existed in
and
my life too,
I know, but it's just like,
bro. Like
no, I mean like, and
I
like
feel like,
Grandpa used to ride us around in the truck with no seatbelts. His truck didn't have seatbelts in it
oh
because
dude, that's
you know,
awesome.
they didn't even make seatbelts again, and you know, it was optional to have seatbelts back in the day.
That's
You know what I
crazy.
mean? And he drove like a bat out of hell. You know, like, and he's like jacking around, hitting his brakes and shit, making us like sling us into the fucking glove box. You know, like, oh, you're an ass. So it's like I know I used to,
No,
dude. I used to ride around doing like 85 in the back of a pickup truck, standing up in the bed.
that's
Okay,
awesome. No, no, but I was gonna say is like,
it was
no,
just me and roll bar. Okay, and
no,
that
but
was it.
I'm talking about like, I'm talking about like, you know how like siblings fight with one another? Like they fight, they're gonna fight, right? Brothers, sisters, you know, fucking, they're gonna fight, you know. But like I remember like I grew up like this. If my one if I say I punched my brother, right? And he came crying and running to my dad or mom. He'd like be like, he hit me, you know, that type of shit, you know, like he hit me, and dad would look at him and be like, well, go hit him back, you know, and like that's how we solved our differences between each other,
They worked it out on their own.
you know, like, and we worked it out on a young ass age, you know, and then like that, I feel like that's like how people should parent, you know, it's like, you know, like they shouldn't be like, oh, well, I'm gonna prioritize this kid over this kid because this kid is better than this kid, and I should lock this kid in a room with no electricity and stuff, you know, like that type of thing. Because that's exactly what happened to me. My younger brother got prioritized over me once I moved in with my grandparents, and then my older brother was somewhere in Louisiana. I had no idea where he was at the time, and then like I don't know, slowly I just started getting abused and beat and stuff, you know. And I feel like minus the abuse part, but like more of like growing up tough and not being pampered by a bunch of shit, you know. Like make them work for it, you know. Say you want to buy your child an Xbox, they gonna have to show you that they're mature for an Xbox. You don't just hand it right away, you know.
These are expensive. I got
Yeah,
time for that.
I know, but
You might kick
like
coke on it.
yeah, yeah. But anyways, yeah.
Yeah, he kicked
Yeah.
coke on his stuff. It was an honest mistake.
Dude, I was half asleep and like, I went for my Coke, right? I went for my Coke can and I missed the Coke can and I somehow backhanded it onto the freaking Xbox. But I learned from then and there out, you know, like to not fucking put soda next to electronics, and my room's been clean ever since, dude.
Well, it ain't no worse than one time I was half asleep.
Spilled the whole 2 liter of Coke
No,
on
no, it
yours.
wasn't 2 liter
No?
coke. I had a controller, you know,
Oh, it was the coffee
and
thing. Yeah.
I don't know why I put the coffee cup on the floor, and I don't know why the Xbox controller was on the floor. Because I preached, don't put it on the floor. Don't do this, and don't do that. And I did everything I told y'all not to do.
While I wasn't there.
Yeah, and I put it on the floor, and my big foot knocked the coffee cup over and sorted the controller out. And and I was like, God.
So you had to resort to your remote for a while.
No, I ended up cleaning the controller up, bringing it to GameStop, and just telling them what I did, and they gave me a wired one, but I got lucky because I used to know people that worked at the GameStop. But it's like,
Bless
excuse
you.
me. But you know, it's just like,
I feel like if you grow up tough, like if you grow up with less privileges and like less chances, and like you grow up where there's like no like little room for error, or like you're gonna get like a consequence and like you're gonna learn from your mistakes. I feel like if people grew up more like that, we wouldn't have like the pampered babies, like we'd have more people that like stand up, and like fight for what's right instead of cower down. I feel like if they grew up with less chances and like less privileges, and you had to go to school while everybody else had cool clothes, you had to do what you got. Half the time, back when I was younger, I felt like, oh, I shall have these cool clothes. I was like, oh, I can't have those clothes, because they're too expensive, and so I had to learn what a budget was, and I still have trouble with that sometimes, because money. When I have money, I tend to go nuts because like, oh, I think since I got money in my hand, not that I'm hard or like I'm cool or anything. It's just that there's a lot more windows of opportunity I have with money now. I
yeah.
can I can
No, I
I
get
can
it.
buy
I was
this.
your age one time too.
I can buy that. And mainly I just settle on a bunch of fucking things for my phone.
Yeah. Well, I know one time, talking about money. I remember one time, you know how I learned how to budget?
How?
Grandma Bustle gave me my allowance. It was like $40 because I did all kind of extra stuff, you know.
Yeah.
And I normally would go to the mall,
Yeah.
buy myself a couple T-shirts and a CD or two, or a couple tapes because we had tapes back then.
Yeah.
You know,
And
and
the
we go
tape
buy a
player,
couple tapes or some CDs or even a Sega game or something.
They
You
had
know.
tapes back in when I was younger too.
Yep.
And they still spun vinyl.
Mhm. They still do all that too to this day.
I know, but like
But
it's
look,
freaking faded
the
out.
point is that I went to the mall
Yeah.
and she dropped me. I always got dropped off at the Ruby Tuesdays.
Oh,
Because
dude, that's a good
I would
ass
always,
place to
I
eat.
usually would always go in there and I would get a Dr. Pepper. And I'd usually go in there and get a Dr. Pepper, right?
Yeah.
And I usually get it to go cup. Now this time, and the arcade was directly across.
Can I have one of these or these mom?
Is this the last one?
No,
You can
there's
have
one
it.
more left.
Let mom have the last one.
Alright.
Okay, so if you
Starving.
if anybody by chance hears this, and if you made it this far, you're awesome. I love y'all very much. But like,
Congrats.
yeah, congrats. Listening to us ramble for 30 something minutes.
No, we do this
and like,
hours upon hours a day, dude.
and like, so, you know, at Cortana Mall, Baton Rouge,
I don't
God
even think
rest
that
its
exists.
soul.
It don't exist
It
no
don't.
more.
And the Ruby Tuesdays were directly across from the freaking arcade. Okay.
Was.
And so I would go to the Ruby Tuesdays, and half the time I get my to-go cup, and I'd just walk around the mall sipping Dr. Pepper, checking stuff out. Go to the game store, go to Sam Goody, go to
I don't
those
even think
shops
they
I
have
wasn't
that
supposed to go
anymore.
to.
I feel like Sam Goody, they don't have that
Yeah,
no
you do.
more,
It's
do
in the
they?
mall here. We got
Really?
a Sam Goody here.
I didn't know that. I thought they didn't exist no more.
They do. But I think down south they have FYE now.
Yeah, it's FYE.
And so anyway, I went and I perused around the arcade a little bit because I did. Every now and then go and they want to play a game or check
Mortal
out what's
Kombat.
new. Mortal Kombat 2 had just come out, and I saw all these people at the machine. I put $20 in the coin machine.
Yeah.
And I wasted a whole $20 on the machine.
Why?
Because I was stupid. I was playing the game, and I totally forgot why I went to the mall because I had to save up the $40 to get one of those 6-button game pads for the Segas.
Yeah.
Because I had the Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo when it came out. I had that, and I had Mortal Kombat 1, and I had Mortal Kombat 2 on pre-order, and I was supposed to go get the controller, put some money in my pre-order, and go buy me something from like the music shop. Now.
You lost track of time.
I lost track of time. I lost $20.
But you still had another 20 because you said you got 40.
Yeah. You know what I did?
What?
I got rid of I played $20 worth of Mortal Kombat 2.
Yeah.
And I decided it'd be cute to play another $20 Mortal Kombat 2.
Wow.
Because people were like, "Oh, you're good, this and that, this and that." You know, instead of me like betting money like everybody else did, I was just in there playing. You know, wasn't thinking about it. And before I knew it, I spent all that money. I reached in my pocket to call grandma to pick me up, and I have no money.
Oh, so you had to wait. You had to do all the chores again.
Oh,
To
well,
get
hold on. I didn't have no money at all. Okay, didn't have no money, and I was like, "Uh-oh, I can't use the payphone." Call grandma. What do I do? And so I sat down. I freaked out a little bit. And I was sipping my Dr Pepper still. And I was looking at the time, and I was like, "Oh man, it's like 6 o'clock. She's gonna kill me. Can't call her yet." She's probably worried. So I had the people at Ruby Tuesdays, and went back and said, "Excuse me, sir, can I need to call my grandma because I spent all my money on the arcade and I'm dumb," or something like that.
Yeah.
You know. So they gave me the phone. I called my mom. She came and picked me up, and she says, where's your bags?" She always had like 4 or 5 fucking bags. You know, "Where's your stuff?" I was like, I kind of spent my $40 at the game place on the video game. So like, is there any way I can get like an extra $40 and you just don't pay me next Friday? And she says, "Nope, deal with it." And I was like, I can't deal with it. How am I supposed to survive throughout the week now? She said, "No problem."
Well, did she supply food and shit?
Oh yeah, but
Okay,
I did extra stuff at school too sometimes. Like back then, $40 was a lot of money, you know. And like, so I would do extra stuff at school, like get extra snacks or like extra stuff you could buy at this little store they had, you know. And it's like,
I was about to say the $40 can only get you like one T-shirt at like fucking store. No.
But like anyway, but throughout that whole week with me doing chores and stuff, she started teaching me how to budget money.
Bro, just so that wasn't happening.
Yeah.
That's funny.
And then whenever I go back to the mall, you know what she started doing?
What?
She started dropping me off way on the other fucking side.
Bro.
Where
Did you ever go back to the arcade?
I got dropped off and they had, I think it was the Gap and a haircutting place.
Yeah.
And a shoe store and an EB Games. You know.
You're still next to a game thing.
No, it was like a GameStop. And so I started going over there, and then one day they had back then they had these things called shareware.
What?
Shareware discs and floppy disks.
Oh yeah, I know what floppy disks are.
Okay, it was shareware. It was called shareware.
Oh, it was.
And it was like these free games they gave out.
Girl.
You know. Yeah. And one day I happened to walk in there, and they had a big old display for Doom, and it was free.
You know you had to hit
the first core levels were free, but you had to pay for the rest of it, right? But the first bunch of levels were free, and I was just like, this is the baddest thing I ever seen in my damn life. I was like, this is free? They say, yeah. I was like, it's free. Yeah. I was like, oh. So I grabbed like 3 copies and shoved them in my pocket, and I left, and I was addicted. I never spent money at the arcade again. I just played Doom. And then I went to school and I passed off 2 more copies to some friends, and I was like, "Bro, you gotta check this out." And like, a couple of my homies didn't have PCs, so I just found kids who had PCs, and I made friends with them. You know, but that's how I learned. That's how I learned how to like budget money and stuff, because I was like, man, I just spent this machine all my money and it ate it, and there's nothing I can do about it now.
Bro, I hate like when you expect to get a soda from a machine or like a snack, and you put it in there. And the shit don't work, so you start to punch it and act like a maniac, and someone looks at you, and you feel awkward. And then
I've only done that twice.
Yeah. I remember one time, we were like, I forgot where we were at, but my grandpa Wes, he went and like put in a quarter to grab like a soda from the machine. It was like 25, like 50 cents. I'm like, dude, the soda won't come out the machine. So this dude smacked the side of the soda machine so hard. That 4 other sodas came out, and he looked around. He's like, and he looked at me, and he's like, "Shh, I think we just committed robbery." And he's like, "Don't say anything." And then we both walked away with the sodas.
Well, you can't be no worse. One day I kicked one of the old machines on the quarters, fell out of it.
Hell yeah! I wonder what type of charges you would get for just stealing a soda.
Nothing.
It's like horrible. It'd be like theft in the 1st degree for stealing a soda.
Let me just eliminate.
That would be horrible.
Alright, let me get some lemonade and we'll wrap this up.
Alright. Yeah, let me pour you a glass.
So let's
recap.
Let's kind of do a recap.
Alright. Yo, whose dress is this? Or pants?
Ellen.
Ellen left the pants over here.
That's not pants, that's shirt. It's a
No,
dress.
Oh, that's a dress. Well, like pants.
So let's do a recap. Let's wrap it up because it's been over 30 minutes, and I'm pretty sure
People are tired of it.
people are tired of hearing us ramble. And so, but if you like to hear us ramble, let us know in the comments, and we'll do more of these.
We'll push for an hour probably.
Yeah. Well, I said I'm pretty like the last thing we did like this got a really really good response. So that's pretty awesome. So decided to do another one. So whoever's listening right now, thank y'all. Thank y'all for the support. We do appreciate you. And we love you guys. And I'd like to get my YouTube up so that way I can get monetized. At least that way I can do giveaways. That would be cool. But we do appreciate y'all. So let's do a recap, man. What do you think?
I don't know, like, we've been talking so long, I forgot what. I think we originally started on the subject of,
You being a loser.
Yeah, me being a loser because of me not knowing if I'm moving out when I'm 18.
What, do you still feel like a loser?
At the end of the day, I'm always gonna feel like a loser.
Nah. You shouldn't, man.
Because half the time, like, I just feel like, oh, since I don't have a big, like, status of friends that I can go visit, since I don't have, like, people my age to hang out with, like, people in my class to hang out with, shit like that, I just feel like, oh, wow, I really am a loser because, like, I don't have that fat, like, all-American, like, social status, like, I don't have that. I've never had that. I've always been that kid that was too weird to hang around the weird kids.
Well, I think it's better to be the underdog.
Yeah.
It's better to do that. This is my opinion. I've always been that way.
But at the end of the day, I'll always feel like a loser. And no matter how many people are around me, I always still feel alone.
Just know that I'm always here for you.
I know.
Well, thank you guys for listening.
Thanks, guys.
I love y'all. And as always, keep it brutal.